Hello again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Honest Homeschooler. I am here to give you my honest review of this book. You can find these at Costco and they only cost a little under $10. So far, I've been able to go through, let's see, it's not in that order. It's listing it, but it's not in that order. So far, we've been doing reading with my fourth grader, even though this is a third grade book. You know how there's a lot of homeschool moms on YouTube that they go through a little bit of a curriculum and then they decide it's not for them, and so they don't, I don't know what they do with it. Throw it away, donate it. But I like to just use it, even if it's not the grade level that your child is at. Sometimes you can go through like several pages because it is easier. And well, anyway, talking about other ones, but here I thought we're going to be going through this. And so third grade, they give you short little stories, different types of activities you can do. She does several pages a day. Pretty easy for her. What I like about this so far is that they have like different types of activities, which I think is fun, and it gets your mind, like warmed up. And it's not just like, okay, I have to read this and I have to read again and I have to read again, but like the activities, they ask you to do different things. We've been ripping the pages off that we're doing, which I like also. It's nice seeing when the book is getting smaller, and it's just nice to open it up and there you go, that's the page that you're on. So the reason I'm making this video is because I want to show you my idea that if you have like older books that you never got to at the grade that you wanted to, you can use those books the next grade level and just use them maybe like as a review to kind of just see where your child is at. If something's a little hard for them, then oh, okay, good thing I came across this, and we can focus on that on her other, using her actual like fourth grade curriculum. So for example, we did not do this book because we were focusing on different topics and different things the last school year. So we didn't do cursive, which traditionally you learn to do that in third grade, or at least that was my experience. And so here we go, like we're going through this book. And so as soon as we're done with the reading section, I also wanted to show you, I like that like the reading section, it goes over like so I think this is a great way to review, because if you are I think I saw a coyote running around on the street right here. If you are what was I saying? Oh man, I got so distracted. Yeah, these are like short lessons that serve as review, but maybe it helps you to realize, oh, like we learned about all these other important topics, but maybe we didn't make enough time to discuss like something like this, or yeah, like compare and contrast, or like charts, or maybe they didn't get enough practice doing crossword puzzles. And so anyway, I like the idea of using a book like this, not necessarily as a curriculum, but more like as a review, and just kind of to see where your child is at and if you guys need to focus on anything in your actual curriculum. So yeah, so once we're done with these pages here, the reading portion, then we're right here. And as you know, as a homeschooler, you probably know that usually we don't really emphasize on focusing too much about doing things the way, you know, the public schools are doing it. And a lot of homeschoolers like to like do school and just learn, you know, outside of, like, for example, books like this. So we were like very much that way last year, and so like I mentioned, we didn't do cursive. So here you have an example of like a typical expectation for a third grader, or like for a fourth grader to already, you know, to have learned cursive. But so what we're doing, I told my daughter, okay, once we finish this, we're not actually going to start doing these pages, because right from the start I already see, okay, this type of book is not necessarily the best at introducing a topic. Like I said, this is really good for reviewing, right? But like right away, like, okay, so my child is going to learn to write the capital A and the lowercase a, but then right away, like, they haven't technically, like, if this was the first page that a child is learning to do cursive, write in cursive, then they haven't even learned to do the other letters, so that would be a little overwhelming, I would imagine. So right away I'm like, okay, no, we're not going to do this. We're gonna pause this, and then we're going to actually go into our like real curriculum book, handwriting without tears, by learning without tears, cursive handwriting. And so here you can see the difference. Like, this is the curriculum we used to teach them, like when they were in kindergarten, how to write, you know, letters and things like that. So I trust that they're going to do a good job teaching my daughter also how to write in cursive. So here we go. And of course, like with printing, they don't necessarily go in ABC order, but they go in, like, they introduce a topic like Magic Sea Bunny. So they're gonna teach them to do like things like this. Then eventually that one will lead so that it's easier for them to go like up and so forth. See, so I like how strategic they are. And so once we're, see here, like in the beginning, you see they're not even teaching them to write like full-on words. Like here, finally, like 2 letters, right? And little words, not to overwhelm them. And then eventually, yeah, you get here, and now you're starting to write short sentences. So that's what we'll be doing. I just want to show you real quick. And I think it's cute to see this and to read the directions. Let's see here. Here you're gonna get paragraphs. Okay. Other activities. And then we will be ready to review over here. And then just like that, in 4th grade, we will have learned to do what was expected, according to this book, for a 3rd grader to be able to know. But like, my guess is in like 1 or 2 months, depending on how fast or slow you want to take it, you'll be able to know this, cross it off, and move on to the next thing, which will be, let's see, let me skim this. Writing practice. So wow, see how much more they expect them to write. Okay, other topics here. Yeah, so grammar, we have our grammar books. So this, again, this is like extra practice, and make sure that they actually learned last year. It's just something, as a homeschooling parent, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I appreciate little books like this where they have to bubble in, like fill in the bubble, because I don't know, like, that's totally what we did in public school. as kids for all those tests that we had to take, but like you introduce this to your homeschooler and like they might even like struggle, like not even stay inside the circle and stuff because they're not used to it. So I kind of like when sometimes I see pages like this, so I'm like, okay, like if you ever have to take a test like outside of homeschool and they need you to do this, then good thing for this book that they introduced this, because like usually in our assignments I'm not going to do like those circles and ask them to circle the, you know, fill in the bubble. So yeah, just gonna skim it real quick. So I can show you what else they have. Okay, and something cute too that I like, well, this is nice too, the multiplication tables, but I like this, that they have pages where they can fill out about, you know, who they are and things like that. So I'm looking forward for her doing that. And they have all the answers here. Don't tell your kid. And yeah, math. Good review. And there you go. So if there was like something in math, for example, that your child didn't learn yet, then I would just also do the same thing, like just go and learn that and then come back so that they can be better able to do it. Like don't try to force them to learn something in a book like this, because that might actually make it harder than if you just go and take your time in an actual curriculum. Like for us, math is Matthew C, and they take it really slow. So yeah, just prioritize your curriculum and then use this as extra like review and as a, you know, just a tool to help you gauge where you guys are at. Alrighty, thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts, any other tricks you do during homeschooling, and I'll see you on the next video.